The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and all eyes are on the Boston Celtics as they prepare for what could be a historic championship run. Let's break down everything you need to know about this powerhouse team. Their regular season performance, what it takes to win back-to-back titles, and whether any major roster moves might be coming this offseason. First, let's talk about potential dark horse teams that could shake things up in the Eastern Conference. While the Celtics have been dominant, we can't ignore how the Detroit Pistons have developed into a legitimate threat. Their defensive intensity has given Boston problems all season long, and with Cade Cunningham making a strong case for most improved player, this young squad could surprise many in postseason play. Currently sitting in the top 6 of the East, Detroit has shown they can go toe-to-toe with elite teams. Now, the New York Knicks present an interesting case. Their success largely hinges on Jalen Brunson's health. While they have the talent to challenge teams like Boston or Cleveland in a 7-game series, I believe Detroit might actually match up better against the Celtic style of play. Would I pick the Pistons to win such a series? Probably not, but they'd certainly push Boston to the limit and make them work for every victory. That physical, grinded-out style could wear down opponents over multiple games. Moving to roster questions, there's growing speculation about potential lineup changes. With salary cap considerations and new ownership in place, Boston might need to make some tough decisions. One emerging storyline involves a promising rookie who's been contributing on both ends of the floor, while another veteran's three-point shooting has been inconsistent this season. This could create an interesting positional battle next year, or potentially make that veteran expendable in trade talks. Given his affordable contract and proven production, Boston might actually get better than expected value in return, especially if they package him with draft assets. Now, looking at Boston's playoff path, getting through the Eastern Conference won't be easy. A potential second-round matchup against Cleveland looms large, and that could be an absolute war. The Cavaliers present multiple problems with their balanced roster, featuring Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and their formidable frontcourt. Then, if Boston advances, they'd likely face either Oklahoma City or Denver coming out of the West, both loaded with championship-caliber talent. Health will be critical for Boston's title hopes. Jason Tatum's recent ankle tweak, suffered against Sacramento, bears watching, though he insists it's nothing serious. Jaylen Brown has been dealing with thigh issues, and Drew Holiday's availability is always crucial to their defensive identity. To survive this gauntlet, Boston needs to handle their early-round opponents efficiently. No extended series that drain their energy before the real tests arrive. Quick first- and second-round victories would allow them to stay fresh for what promises to be brutal conference finals and NBA finals matchups. Speaking of Oklahoma City, they're my pick to come out of the West. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing at an MVP level, and Chet Holmgren's two-way impact makes them a nightmare matchup. While the Lakers or Nuggets could surprise, the Thunder's combination of youth, athleticism, and shooting might be too much to handle in a 7-game series. If Boston does reach the finals, this would be their most formidable possible opponent. Back to the Eastern Conference picture. While Milwaukee and New York get attention, Cleveland remains the biggest threat to Boston's championship aspirations. The Cavaliers have given Boston problems all season with their defensive schemes and transition game. A potential Eastern Conference Finals between these two could go the full 7 games, with home court advantage potentially being the deciding factor. Cleveland's strong play at their arena could prove pivotal if the series goes deep. The key for Boston will be managing their stars' minutes down the stretch. While securing the top seed matters, keeping Tatum, Brown, and Holiday healthy for the postseason is paramount. We've seen how championship runs can derail when teams push too hard late in the regular season. The Celtics coaching staff needs to strike that delicate balance between competitiveness and preservation. One underrated factor in Boston's favor is their championship experience now. Last year's title run taught this group how to win under pressure, and that intangible quality often makes the difference in tight playoff games. When possessions become precious in the fourth quarter of Game 7, Boston's been there before. That mental edge could prove invaluable against younger teams like Oklahoma City or Cleveland. As we approach the playoffs, the biggest question surrounding Boston isn't about talent, it's about durability. Can this core withstand another long postseason run after playing deep into June last year? History shows how challenging repeat championships are in today's NBA, and the Celtics will need contributions from their entire rotation to navigate this gauntlet successfully. Role players like Derek White and Al Horford could swing crucial games with timely shooting and defensive plays. The next few weeks will reveal much about Boston's championship mettle. Every game matters as they fine-tune their rotations and build momentum toward what they hope will be another parade in June. For Celtics fans, it's an exciting time, but also an anxious one, knowing how small the margin for error becomes in the NBA's second season. When we talk about championship DNA, the Boston Celtics are showing all the signs of a team built for sustained playoff success. Their offensive firepower is nearly unmatched, ranking in the top 5 in both three-point percentage and offensive rating all season. But what truly separates them is how they've evolved defensively since last year's championship run. The ability to switch everything on the perimeter while protecting the rim with time. Lord's athleticism gives them schematic flexibility few teams can match. And let's not forget about their crunch time execution. Boston leads the league in clutch win percentage, proving they know how to close games when the pressure mounts. The Oklahoma City Thunder present perhaps the most fascinating potential finals matchup. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's mid-range mastery, combined with Chet Holmgren's unicorn skill set, creates offensive mismatches everywhere. But here's where Boston's experience could prove decisive. OKC's core has never been this deep in the playoffs before. The Thunder's beautiful regular season ball movement often stagnates in half-court playoff settings, and Boston's veteran defenders know exactly how to exploit those moments. Watch for Drew Holiday to potentially shadow SGA in critical possessions, using his elite on-ball defense to disrupt OKC's offensive rhythm. Cleveland's resurgence makes them a scary playoff opponent too. Donovan Mitchell is playing the best basketball of his career, and their Twin Towers lineup with Allen and Mobley causes problems for any offense. But Boston's spacing could be the antidote. Forcing one of those bigs to guard the perimeter against Tatum or Brown creates driving lanes that didn't exist last postseason. The chess match between Cleveland's defensive schemes and Boston's offensive counters might decide who represents the East in the finals. Injury luck always plays a huge role in championship runs, and Boston's medical staff will be working overtime. Jason Tatum's durability has been remarkable. He's missed just 17 games over the past 4 seasons combined. But the wear and tear of deep playoff runs accumulates, and Boston needs his MVP-caliber production at 100%. Jaylen Brown's improved playmaking has been crucial this season, but his occasional defensive lapses still surface, something opponents will surely test in playoff isolation situations. The Celtics' margin for error shrinks if either star isn't at their best. The bench rotation presents another intriguing subplot. Peyton Pritchard's emergence as a reliable backup guard allows Derek White to play more minutes alongside the starters. Al Horford's minutes management becomes critical. At 37 years old, preserving him for playoff matchups against elite bigs is essential. Boston's depth isn't their strength, but their top 8 rotation might be the most talented in the league when healthy. Coach Mazzulla's willingness to tighten the rotation earlier than most contenders could pay dividends in maintaining rhythm. Financially, this might be Boston's last season with this exact core. The new CBA's harsh penalties for repeat luxury tax offenders will force tough decisions this offseason. That adds another layer of urgency to this championship pursuit. The front office knows future roster flexibility is limited. It's championship or bust in a very real sense, which could either galvanize the group or create unbearable pressure as the playoffs progress. The Western Conference gauntlet deserves attention too. While Oklahoma City looks like the team to beat, Denver's championship experience makes them dangerous. Nikola Jokic remains the league's most unstoppable offensive force, and Jamal Murray's playoff performances consistently exceed his regular season output. A Boston-Denver finals would showcase 2 beautifully constructed rosters with elite talent and system continuity, basketball purist dream matchup. Then there's the wild card, the Los Angeles Clippers. When healthy, A big if. Their quartet of stars presents matchup nightmares. Kawhi Leonard remains one of the game's premier two-way players when right, and Paul George's shooting would test Boston's defensive discipline. But the Clippers' inconsistent rebounding and interior defense could be fatal flaws against Boston's size and athleticism. Back to the Eastern Conference landscape. Milwaukee's defensive slippage this season makes them vulnerable despite Giannis' otherworldly talents. The Knicks' physical style could wear down opponents over a series, but their lack of elite shot creation beyond Brunson raises questions. Miami always finds another gear in the playoffs, but their roster might not have enough firepower this time around. That leaves Cleveland as Boston's most dangerous potential roadblock. The chess match between Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla and Cavaliers coach J.B. Bickerstaff will be fascinating. Mazzulla's analytical approach versus Bickerstaff's emphasis on defensive fundamentals could produce wildly contrasting styles. Boston's three-point volume against Cleveland's paint dominance creates a classic clash of philosophies. The team that can impose its preferred style more consistently would likely prevail in a 7-game series. Player development stories add compelling layers to Boston's season. Derek White's transformation into an elite two-way guard might be the league's most underrated subplot. His defensive playmaking and improved three-point shooting, over 40% this season, make him the perfect complementary piece. Meanwhile, Peyton Pritchard's confidence in his role gives Boston reliable bench shooting they've lacked in previous years. The Kristaps Porzingis acquisition continues paying dividends too. His ability to stretch the floor as a 7-footer forces opposing bigs into uncomfortable decisions. When teams switch smaller defenders onto him, his post-game becomes a reliable weapon. Defensively, his length alters shots without needing to leave his feet, a perfect complement to Robert Williams' explosive athleticism. As the regular season winds down, watch for Boston to experiment with some unconventional lineups. We might see more minutes with Tatum at center in small ball groups, or double big lineups featuring Porzingis and Horford together. These tweaks could provide crucial versatility come playoff time when specific matchups demand adjustments. The mental aspect of repeating as champions can't be overlooked either. The target on Boston's back grows larger each game, and young teams like Oklahoma City or Orlando would love nothing more than to dethrone the champs. Maintaining focus through the grind of 4 potential playoff series requires extraordinary leadership, an area where Tatum and Brown have shown tremendous growth this season. Boston's front office deserves credit for constructing this roster with such balanced two-way talent. Every rotation player can defend multiple positions while spacing the floor offensively. In today's positionless NBA, that versatility becomes magnified in playoff settings where opponents relentlessly hunt mismatches. The Celtics have essentially built an anti-mismatch roster, a luxury few teams can claim. Looking ahead to potential offseason moves, Boston's hands are somewhat tied by the new CBA restrictions. This increases the importance of internal development. Can players like Jordan Walsh or draft picks provide cost control production? The Celtics player development staff will be under pressure to find hidden gems who can contribute on rookie-scale contracts. The coaching staff's preparation will be tested too. Boston's ability to counter opponents' adjustments mid-series often determines playoff success. Mazzulla's growth as a tactician has been evident this season. His timeout usage and challenge decisions have improved markedly. But the playoffs present entirely new levels of strategic complexity that even experienced coaches struggle to navigate. Boston's path to another championship is clear but fraught with challenges. Survive the Eastern Conference gauntlet, likely featuring Cleveland's defensive prowess, then potentially face an Oklahoma City team brimming with young talent or a Denver squad with championship pedigree. It's the toughest possible road, but that's what makes potential back-to-back titles so special in today's NBA landscape. The Celtics have all the ingredients: elite talent, championship experience, two-way balance, and depth. Now we'll see if they can put it all together again when the bright lights shine this postseason. One thing's certain, NBA fans are in for an incredible playoff spectacle with so many compelling storylines and potential matchups on the horizon. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In the world of NBA rumors, few stories are more tantalizing than the possibility of Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's most dominant forces, joining the Boston Celtics. Known for his two-way brilliance and legendary ability to lock down opponents on defense, Leonard's name has sparked intrigue across the NBA. Could the Celtics be the next chapter in the career of the six-time NBA All-Star and two-time NBA champion? The potential for Leonard to join a team already teeming with talent is something that has caught the attention of fans and analysts alike. Leonard's history speaks volumes. After capturing Finals MVPs with both the San Antonio Spurs and the Toronto Raptors, his move to the Los Angeles Clippers was meant to solidify their championship aspirations. However, injuries, particularly to his knee, have led to doubts about his future with the Clippers. With Leonard recently ruled out indefinitely for the 2024 to 2025 season due to right knee inflammation, many are wondering if the time has come for a fresh start. The Boston Celtics, who have been pushing for an NBA title in recent years, might just be the perfect landing spot for the Claw. The Celtics have been on the cusp of greatness, boasting a roster featuring superstars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Adding Leonard's elite defensive prowess and clutch scoring ability could be the missing piece to bring Boston its 18th championship. Leonard's track record of delivering under pressure, as evidenced by his performances in the 2019 NBA Finals with the Raptors, would be invaluable for a team that has often fallen short in crucial moments. Leonard's ability to take over in key playoff games could provide the Celtics with the edge they need in their quest for an NBA title. With the Celtics' history of making bold moves and their need for a defensive juggernaut to complement their offensive firepower, the timing couldn't be better. Leonard's injury concerns are a risk, but his track record and experience make him a player that any contender would take a chance on. Additionally, his leadership qualities could be the spark that pushes the Celtics over the top in the postseason. While the Celtics front office is known for its caution, the allure of adding a two-time Finals MVP to their already loaded roster is a proposition that's hard to ignore. As we await official news on Leonard's future, the buzz around Boston's interest in him continues to grow. Could the Celtics become the next team to reap the benefits of Leonard's defensive genius and clutch performances? With the 2024 season underway and the trade deadline approaching, the coming months could be pivotal in shaping the future of one of the NBA's best players. The stage is set for an exciting storyline to unfold, one that could reshape the balance of power in the league. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.